Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. It has been forever since I've done a video, but I'm just doing the best I can to make videos. I do a lot of shorts. Anyway, I did this really crazy project for my sister-in-law over the weekend, last weekend. And I've done these kind of projects before, but I got this idea that I thought you guys might like that's super simple and easy to kind of take all of those millions of pictures that you take of your animals, if you're like me, and do something fun with them. So this tutorial is just going to be a really fun, simple, easy way to do something cool with your photos of your pets or your family, friends, whatever. You could do endless. There's kind of like lots of possibilities, but just to give you an idea. I don't know if you can see that really well. Jeez, the lighting in here is trash. One day, y'all, I'm going to have a whole studio, I promise. Anyway, we're going to be making, we're going to be transferring pictures onto wood. I use these, but I actually bought a bunch of different things I could transfer to. I chose to use little ornaments that look like this on the back. You could actually probably put pictures on both sides. Anyway, let's jump into the video and I'll show you how I did this. So here's how we're gonna make this project. What I use is, it's silhouette temporary tattoo paper. You can buy this on Amazon. Sometimes you can find it at Joann's. You can sometimes find it at Michael's. You can definitely find it on Amazon. You're gonna need an inkjet printer to do this. So that's also important to know. And some sort of way to print to your inkjet printer. And I'm going to use Canva to lay out my pictures, but you could also use Microsoft Word or any sort of picture app or anything where you can use, if you want to put more than one picture on a piece of paper, you just need a way to add photos to an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, either using Word or something like that. So that's this. To print out, you're going to follow the instructions on the tattoo paper. You're going to also need some sort of raw wood. I went a little bit overboard and I got lots of different kinds of wood. You have these, which you can print on, and then these are hooks that you can hammer into the back and then use a nail to hang them. I went and I got these off of Amazon. These are like little photo boxes. You can either hang them on the wall. They actually will sit up on their own. That's kind of up to you. And then I also got these. You can use these as like Christmas ornaments. There's holes in them. You can use twine to put through the hole, so you can hang it with a nail. You can hang it on a Christmas tree. You can hang it wherever you want to. I'm gonna use these for this project. That's my plan. So once you have the basic materials, you're then gonna need to go pick your favorite pictures. And if you're like me, you'll have a gazillion and one pictures that you want to use. Like I said, I use Canva to lay out my photos, but you can absolutely do this on a Word document. I already have mine laid out. I put 4 pictures on one sheet. Your silhouette sheets, your tattoo paper sheets are 8.5 by 11. You can get a free trial of Canva. Use it for up to 30 days before they charge you. I actually have a Canva membership because I use it for my business, but if you're using Canva, you would want to go over to hit create design and hit custom size. And over here where it says pixels, you're going to want to change this to inches. And you're going to want to make sure that your sheet is 8.5 in width by 11 in height. And create a new design. And then on the right-hand side, or the left-hand side here, it'll say uploads. You can bring in your pictures. You can bring them in using Dropbox. You can take them directly from your computer, Google Drive, etc. Then you would just add your pictures to the sheets. They're probably going to come up bigger than you need them to be. I know for me that those little round wooden ornament hangers that I'm going to be using to put these pictures on they're about 4 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to resize this picture and make it a little bit over 4 inches. So I'm making mine whatever comes. Mine, I think that said 4.1 by 4.2. And then you're just going to lay it out. You don't want it too far up to the edge. You want to make sure you leave yourself some space so that you can lay out as many. The idea is to put as many pictures as you can on a sheet. These sheets are not necessarily cheap. It's about $8 for 2 sheets. So you want to get as much use out of them as you can. So I try to put as many pictures as I can when I'm making something like this onto one sheet. You just want to make sure you leave yourself enough room to cut around it, and that you leave a little bit of space around the edges so that you pick up everything when you print it. The other thing I want to mention is if you put words on here, let's say you wanted to put their names. when you go to print this out, you need to print it in mirror. If you don't mirror your images or flip it around, it will cause your picture, your wording to come up wrong when you print it out. You can actually flip it in Canva. You can also, I believe, mirror it in Word before you even print it out. If I wanted to flip this, I could just go like this and it would flip it. Now, for me, it doesn't matter because it doesn't have words. But let me give you an example of something that does have words. All right, let's pull this. Okay, so if I were to print this out like it is right now, it would read, you wouldn't be able to read it when you put it onto your wood piece. So you would need to reverse this so that it's backwards, so that when you print it, it reads correctly from right to left. And that's kind of what you would need to do if you were going to add words to any of your pictures. Or you could print it in mirror. So when you go to do the step of printing, you could just do a mirror print as opposed to mirroring every single image. It's kind of whatever works for you. Just know that if you're going to print anything with words, it needs to be mirrored. Okay, so what you have to do next is each tattoo sheet will come with this green piece. It's clear. And you'll need to put it over top of your picture. You're going to want to make sure it's dry before you do that. You're going to line it up to the paper. Okay. And then you need to slowly cover this sheet. And they recommend that you use like a credit card or something to get the bubbles out. If you have bubbles like I just did, just use the card to smooth them out. Alright, so now what you're going to do is you're going to cut these out. I wouldn't do these with your good fabric scissors. Don't follow my example. I have 97 pairs of these. You're just going to cut out as close around the edge as you can. Okay, so now that you got these, just set them aside a second. I'm just going to find a picture for each piece of wood. And I might cut them down a little smaller so they fit. Now I just want to show you, my wood has holes pre-drilled, but if you're going to use these for hanging and you're going to have to put a hole through it, just make sure that you don't do something like put their head right where you're going to have to put this hole. So for Lucy would be a good example. If I put her head over top that hole, I'm going to have to put a hole through her head at the end in order to hang it. So I would want to make sure she's off center a little bit so that the hole ends up being here instead of in her head once this is all done. Alright, here's how this goes, you guys. I'm going to peel off the clear sticker part. Alright, I'm going to stick that down on top of there. Push. Okay. You're going to take your cloth. You don't want it necessarily soggy, wringing wet, but you want it wet. It's like a temporary tattoo when you were a kid that you got out of a bubblegum box or a Cracker Jack box. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's like a temporary tattoo. You're going to put your wet on top of your picture. Takes about 15 seconds. You want to push down. I might have put that. See how you can see it? I don't think that's done yet. We're going to do this a little bit more. Oh, it did work. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do one more dab for good luck. That it worked. I can tell it worked. Okay, here we go, guys. Are you ready? This is exciting. Now, you want to make sure that this picture is on here. Okay, then just set that little bad boy aside and move on to your next one. So let's do the rest of them. Okay, so now what we need to do is poke a hole through here. See, there's already holes in mine, so I just want to push the hole through. And then we're going to put a little cord, because I'm going to hang these on the wall, I think, in their room. And then you just make it however long you want to make it. We don't need them too long. And we'll just tie a little knot. And here they all are. I think they turned out super cute. I ended up hanging them on the wall in the ferret room. Those two are Bear and Weasel. They both passed away, and below them are their memorial pictures and ashes. And then I hung these three, which are my oldest ferrets. That's Lucy, Oscar, and Ruby. And then on the other wall, I put my youngest babies, which is Prince, Levi, and Leo. And this one is just all the ferrets eating their soupies. I hung it on the cage for now. That is the tutorial. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.